My landlord tried to keep my security deposit. The evidence I brought to court left a judge speechless. When I signed a lease for my downtown apartment, I knew the security deposit was steep parent $2,400 for a one-bedroom, but the location was perfect for my new job and the property management company, Aram Properties, had glowing online reviews. Don't worry, the leasing agent assured me with a practiced smile. As long as you leave the place in good condition, you'll get every penny back. We're not like those landlords who keep deposits. For no reason, I lived there for exactly 1 year, and I was meticulous about the apartment. When my job transferred me to another city, I gave proper notice and followed the move-out instructions to the letter. I spent 3 days cleaning, filled every nail hole, and even hired professional cleaners for the carpets and bathroom. During the final walkthrough, the property manager nodded approvingly. You should receive your deposit within 30 days. 45 days later, I finally received an envelope from Aram Properties. Instead of a check for $2,400, I found a statement claiming I would receive only $340. They had deducted for extensive cleaning $650, carpet replacement due to stains $900, and wall repairs and painting $510. I was stunned. The apartment had been spotless when I left. I immediately called the office and was told the charges are final. If you have a problem with that, you can take it to court. They clearly didn't expect me to do just that. I filed a claim in small claims court, which cost me $75. I had taken detailed photos and videos during my move in showing existing carpet stains and wall marks, and again during my move out showing the pristine condition I left it in. I also had the receipt from the professional cleaners and texts with the property manager acknowledging the good condition, but my secret weapon came from an unexpected source. 2 weeks after I moved out, I ran into my former neighbor in a coffee shop in my new city. She mentioned that someone new had moved into my old apartment just 3 days after I left. They didn't even clean between tenants, she said. I know because I helped the new girl move in, and she complained about having to clean the paint dust herself from the supposedly extensive wall repairs they charged me for. I asked my former neighbor if she would sign a statement confirming this, and she agreed. I also reached out to the new tenant through my neighbor and explained my situation. To my surprise, she was eager to help. She sent me photos of the apartment from her move-in day part, showing the same carpets I supposedly destroyed and walls that had clearly been given only a quick touch-up, not the extensive repairs I was charged for. On the day of the hearing, I arrived early with a binder containing all my evidence. Aram Properties sent their in-house attorney, a slick man in an expensive suit, who barely glanced at me when my case was called. The judge asked Aram's attorney to explain the charges. He smoothly cited company policy about normal wear and tear versus damage, claiming I had left the apartment in deplorable condition requiring extensive repairs that delayed the next tenant's move. Your Honor, may I present my evidence now? I asked. I started with my move-in and move-out photos showing the apartment's condition. The judge nodded, but Aram's attorney dismissed them as self-serving. Then I presented the cleaner's receipt and the text messages from the property manager acknowledging the good condition. The attorney claimed the manager was being polite and that damage was discovered later. Your Honor, I said, Aram Properties claims they needed 2 weeks to make repairs before the next tenant could move in. However, I have evidence that a new tenant moved in just 3 days after I left. I presented the signed statement from my former neighbor and the new tenant's photos with their digital time stamps. The judge leaned forward. And Slaker, your company claimed extensive repairs delayed the new tenant by 2 weeks, but these photos show someone moved in after just 3 days parent into an apartment with the same carpets and walls that your client charged for. Replacing the attorney's face reddened. I would need to consult with my client about this discrepancy. Then I continued. Aram Properties charged me $650 for cleaning, but then made the new tenant clean paint dust herself. They essentially charged both of us for the same service that neither of us received. The judge removed her glasses and stared directly at Aram's attorney. In my 15 years on this bench, I've seen many landlord-tenant disputes, but this level of documentation from a tenant is rare. What's even rarer is catching a company in such a blatant contradiction.